All right, let's talk about Djed, because Djed is literally around the corner. This is January, and this is our plan, right? So we continue to press forward with Djed. The testnet has been up, and your feedback has helped us a lot. And using that and our internal process, we found a few things that needs fixing, and we plan on tackling this immediately this week with IOG. Now that everybody's back from the holidays, and hopefully we'll get everything up and running in time. But this is like the sort of things that we're dealing with right now. I also saw some conversations about the minimal Djed design. There's minimal Djed and extended Djed designs. We are implementing the minimal Djed design right now. And I saw some comments in Twitter about this design not being robust enough, etc. So I want to be very clear. While the extended Djed version will be even better than what we have right now, obviously minimal Djed is robust enough. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been launching it, right? It is also the version that has been battle tested with Ergo USD, and it's robust enough, and worry not to that extent. Obviously, there are a few things there, but we mitigated all, if not most of it, and we're not troubled about this right now. So I would put that to rest at this point. Now, for something pretty important. It may seem semantics to some, but I think it's pretty important, and it's about the category to which Djed as a stablecoin belongs to, right? So obviously, as we with each passing day, we gain more knowledge and information as we're getting closer to the launch, and I am a man of nuances, right? And when we dug deeper to the definitions, like the latest definitions of what makes an algorithmic stablecoin like Frax versus what makes a stablecoin an over-collateralized stablecoin like DAI, for instance, it is pretty clear that Djed is an over-collateralized stablecoin and not an algorithmic stablecoin. Now, let me dive into this right now, and here is a slide, and this slide it comes from the Messari forecast for 2023, like they usually publish once a year, a pretty thorough research, and that gave us a lot of inspiration when we looked into it. And I think, like, what I'll try to do is explain why Djed is an over-collateralized stablecoin and not an algorithmic stablecoin. Let's begin with the obvious. Obviously, Djed uses an algorithm. Yet using an algorithm in itself is not a reason why you'll be called an algorithmic stablecoin. Essentially, everything in computing has algorithms, including your washing machine, right? But the algorithm that Djed uses does not mean that it's an algorithmic stablecoin. So let's just look at the differences, for instance. Let's begin with the very basic tokens, right? Fiat-backed stablecoins, right? Like USDC, USDT, BUSD, TUSD, USDP, etc. Obviously, these stablecoins are centralized, right? Their scale factor is 1. What does it mean? It means that if you deposit $1 as collateral, you get $1 worth of stablecoin, right? So this scale factor is 1 to 1. They're backed by fiat, obviously. And they require, centralized, trusted mediators and partners, right? What's the issue with that? It obviously has, single point of failure. It has censorship risk. I mean, your token may be seized, right? It has regulatory risk, and it means that you need to trust that third-party entity. So let's put fiat stablecoins aside and deal with the comparison between over-collateralized or collateralized stablecoins versus algorithmic stablecoins, right? So first off, Djed uses external collateral. It uses ADA, that is unrelated to the protocol. Algorithmic stablecoins uses internal collateral, right? Like in the case of Frax or differently, Luna and USD. Djed is over-collateralized 4x to 8x, while algorithmic stablecoins usually are only partially collateralized. It means that over-collateralized stablecoins are less capital efficient normally. However, Djed is different, and Djed actually fixes that with the Shen model that takes care of the over-collateralized with this symbiotic relationship. So Djed in itself is very capital efficient. $1 worth of ADA is always equals $1 worth of Djed. Another difference, Djed is always redeemable for the collateral, which is ADA. Algorithmic stablecoins are not always redeemable. They are dependent on the value of the governance token. Djed stability is based on over-collateralization and not on the trust on the governance token, which is what you need to have if you're using an algorithmic stablecoin. So that's the big differences, and this is why Djed is an over-collateralized stablecoin and not an algorithmic stablecoin. Now, why we think Djed is better actually than the rest of the models out there? The problem with fiat-backed stablecoins is the fact that they are centralized and they require trust in the issuer. It has regulatory and censorship risks that we are all aware of. Algorithmic stablecoins require you to trust both in the algorithm stability model and in the price of the governance token, because if that crashes, it may lose the peg. Over-collateralized stablecoins are usually better. The problem is that they're not capital efficient, but Djed actually solved that by completely separating the stablecoin itself, which is capital efficient, from the collateral providers, Shen, and they are incentivized with fees and everything else. So we think we kind of like took everything, the best in all worlds. We'll be summarizing all of that in an upcoming article, but from this point forward, note that we'll be categorizing Djed as an over-collateralized stablecoin and not as an algorithmic stablecoin, and we'll appreciate it if you do the same.